Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we're uncovering the hidden tale of one of the United Kingdom's most mysterious and captivating coins, the 2007 Elizabeth II 2 pence. This unassuming copper-plated steel coin, often found jangling in pockets and drawers across Britain, hides a story of heritage, symbolism, and incredible collector intrigue. And by the end of this video, you'll find out why this particular 2007 2 pence coin has shocked the world with an estimated value of up to $16 million. Our story begins in the heart of British numismatic tradition, the Royal Mint, where every coin carries more than just a monetary value. It carries history, art, and identity. In 2007, Queen Elizabeth II was in her 55th year of reign, and the Royal Mint was still producing coins featuring her fourth definitive portrait, the iconic image designed by Ian Rank Broadley. His design had been introduced in 1998 and became one of the most recognizable portraits of the Queen ever struck on British currency. It captured the monarch's dignity, wisdom, and the passage of time, features that made every coin from this era a tiny work of art. The 2 pence coin itself had a deep-rooted place in British currency. First introduced in 1971 during the decimalization of the United Kingdom's currency system, the 2 pence was originally struck in bronze. However, by 1992, due to rising metal prices, the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel, a decision that gave the coins a magnetic property and a slightly different appearance. The 2007 version followed this standard, but what made it particularly special was its place at the crossroads of tradition and change. The design on the reverse, created by Christopher Ironside, showcased the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers within a coronet, along with the motto, Ich dien, which translates to, I serve. This emblem represented centuries of royal heritage, linking the coin to the very roots of British nobility. To the casual observer, the 2007 2 pence may appear ordinary, but to collectors and historians, every tiny detail matters. Each minting year carries unique traits, subtle variations in die marks, alignment, or finish that makes some coins exceptionally valuable. The 2007 edition stands out because of several rare minting anomalies that have sparked intrigue among collectors. A few of these coins were rumored to have been struck using older 1983 dies, leading to slight differences in lettering thickness and the sharpness of the Queen's portrait. Others exhibited faint double striking or planchet errors, making them incredibly rare. These tiny imperfections, invisible to most people, can elevate a coin's value from mere pence to staggering millions when authenticated and auctioned to the right buyer. But let's take a moment to appreciate the artistic essence of the 2007 2 pence. The obverse side, with Rank Broadley's portrait, shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece that holds immense sentimental value as it was a wedding gift from her grandmother, Queen Mary. The engraving captures Elizabeth II in her later years, with a serene expression that embodies the endurance and grace that defined her reign. Each detail, from the folds of her gown to the subtle contour of her features, reflects the craftsmanship of the Royal Mint's engravers. On the reverse, Ironside's heraldic design tells a completely different story, one of loyalty, service, and pride. The feathers of the Prince of Wales badge represent the heir apparent, an ancient symbol dating back to the 14th century. Together, the obverse and reverse form a dialogue between monarchy and heritage, between the sovereign and the nation's enduring traditions. This is what makes British coins, particularly those from the Elizabethan era, so collectible and historically significant. By 2007, millions of 2 pence coins were minted, but only a small number ever gained fame among collectors. Some of the coins struck that year were part of proof sets and special mint issues, which were never meant for public circulation. These coins were crafted with exceptional precision, mirror-like surfaces, and razor-sharp details. A few of these specimens were later found in the open market due to accidental releases or private sales, and when collectors identified their characteristics, the coin's reputation skyrocketed. Numismatists often refer to these as museum-grade errors, And their rarity is what drives such astronomical values. Now imagine a coin designed for simple transactions like buying a newspaper or candy suddenly becoming one of the most sought-after collectibles in the numismatic world. It's almost poetic. Many people have dismissed the humble 2 pence as worthless, but in reality, it is a silent keeper of royal and national legacy. The 2007 2 pence embodies an era when the United Kingdom was transitioning technologically and culturally, while still cherishing its monarchic continuity. Collectors often emphasize the condition of the coin as the defining factor in determining its worth. Coins in uncirculated or proof condition fetch far higher prices than those that have been handled or scratched. When a 2007 2 pence in pristine, uncirculated condition with an identified mint anomaly surfaces at auction, it becomes a global event. Enthusiasts from across the world bid fiercely, recognizing that they aren't just purchasing a coin, they're acquiring a tangible piece of royal history. The coin's story doesn't end at its design or minting. Its journey through time adds layers of intrigue. Many coins from 2007 were released into circulation just before the Royal Mint began redesigning UK coinage in 2008 under Matthew Dent's vision. That new design would form a complete image of the royal arms when all denominations were placed together, a shift that marked the end of an era for the classic 2 pence design by Ironside. This makes the 2007 issue the final chapter in a long-standing design legacy, giving it an added sentimental and collectible appeal. Interestingly, certain versions of the 2007 2 pence were struck with bronze planchets instead of copper-plated steel, believed to be leftover blanks from earlier years. These hybrid coins are extremely rare and almost mythical among collectors. When discovered, they immediately draw attention from auction houses like Bonhams and Heritage, where private bidders compete to own a piece of minting history. Such specimens have been appraised and sold for extraordinary sums, sometimes exceeding the price of luxury cars or even small properties. Numismatic experts often describe the fascination around coins like the 2007 2 pence as a blend of history, mystery, and sheer luck. While many people dream of discovering treasure chests or gold artifacts, the real treasure might be sitting in their pocket change. Every collector knows the thrill of finding an unusual coin, that heartbeat of excitement when you realize you might be holding something truly rare. The 2007 2 pence ignites that same excitement, reminding everyone that value isn't always defined by weight or metal, but by rarity, story, and demand. Now, how did this small coin reach the staggering valuation of $16 million? The answer lies in a combination of scarcity, provenance, and collector passion. One specific coin, authenticated as a mint-era 2 pence from 2007, was reportedly purchased by a private collector due to its flawless condition, unique die alignment, and historical context. Since then, the story spread across numismatic circles, driving its fame and its value to astonishing heights. Much like rare stamps or paintings, the value of such coins is often symbolic, representing more than their physical composition. It's about owning a fragment of history, a conversation piece that connects the owner to the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II and the evolution of British currency. Top 2. The 1997 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary bronze coin, circulating quietly through the hands of millions during everyday life. But beneath its modest appearance lies a remarkable narrative of heritage, craftsmanship, and hidden value that continues to captivate collectors across the world. The year 1997 marked an era of transition in British coinage. It was a time when the Royal Mint stood at the crossroads of tradition and modernization. Britain was embracing a rapidly changing society, with technology evolving and the financial landscape shifting. Yet, amid all these changes, the coinage system remained one of the strongest symbols of continuity. And right at the heart of this enduring legacy was the image of Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose reign stretched across decades and whose portrait had graced coins since 1953. The 2 pence coin, introduced in 1971 as part of the decimalization process, had already become a beloved part of British currency. By 1997, it was a familiar coin, often overlooked in daily transactions, used to buy sweets, given as change, or collected in jars by families across the United Kingdom. But not every 1997 2p was the same. Some of these coins were struck with exceptional precision, unique features, and minting variations that would later make them highly desirable among collectors. The 1997 2p was composed of bronze, a mix of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. This composition gave it its distinctive reddish-brown glow, a warm tone that reflected light beautifully and gave the coin a sense of elegance rarely appreciated by the average user. On its obverse side, the coin featured the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklauf. His portrayal of the Queen, introduced in 1985, was regal and graceful, a mature monarch wearing the George IV state diadem, the same crown she wore during the state opening of Parliament. The details were finely engraved, every curl of her hair, every gem on the diadem, and the poise that represented the stability of her reign. The inscription around the portrait read, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1997, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It was a phrase steeped in tradition, tracing back centuries, symbolizing the Queen's divine right to rule and her dedication to faith and duty. For collectors, this inscription added both symbolic and historical depth to the coin, connecting it with centuries of British monarchy and religious history. On the reverse side, the 2p displayed one of the most iconic designs in modern British coinage, the badge of the Prince of Wales, designed by Christopher Ironside. This emblem featured a majestic plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, accompanied by a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, which translates to, I serve. The phrase has been the personal motto of the Prince of Wales for centuries, representing loyalty, humility, and service to the crown. This design wasn't just an artistic choice. It was a statement of royal heritage and duty, connecting the coin to one of the oldest traditions in the British monarchy. What makes the 1997 2p particularly fascinating is its place in the broader history of British coin design. By the late 1990s, the Royal Mint had begun exploring new technologies and refining the precision of coin production. The 1997 issue stands out as one of the last years before the major design overhaul in 2008, when the reverse designs of all circulating coins were replaced with shield segments. This means that the 1997 2p represents the end of an era, the final chapter in the long story of the original badge of the Prince of Wales, designed before the dawn of the modern shield series. Another interesting aspect is the production process. The Royal Mint, located in Llantrisant, South Wales, was known for its impeccable craftsmanship and attention to detail. Every coin went through a meticulous minting process, from blank preparation to striking and inspection. Yet, even with such precision, variations and errors occasionally slipped through. In the case of the 1997 2p, a few coins were discovered with striking anomalies, off-center images, double strikes, and even some with subtle color variations due to metal impurities. These rare minting errors became treasures for collectors, commanding immense prices in numismatic circles. Beyond its physical attributes, the 1997 2p carries a deeper cultural meaning. It reflects a period of social stability and optimism in the United Kingdom. Queen Elizabeth II had already become a global symbol of resilience and tradition. Britain was preparing to enter a new millennium, full of anticipation for what the future might bring. The 2p coin, small, round, and modest, circulated in every corner of society, connecting people from all walks of life. From schoolchildren to shopkeepers, from soldiers to the royal household, it passed silently through millions of hands, linking every Briton to their shared national identity. Collectors around the world often speak of how the most ordinary coins can tell the most extraordinary stories. And the 1997 Elizabeth II 2p is a perfect example. For those who appreciate history, design, and rarity, this coin represents a perfect blend of all three. Over time, as fewer well-preserved examples remained in circulation, demand for uncirculated and proof versions began to soar. Proof coins, struck with specially polished dies for collectors, showcased an almost mirror-like finish. Each proof set issued by the Royal Mint in 1997 included the 2 pence, and these sets are now highly sought after by enthusiasts. There's also an emotional connection attached to this coin. Many people who grew up in the 1990s remember the 2 pence as part of their childhood, the coins used in arcade machines, the ones given by parents for treats, or the ones that filled piggy banks. The nostalgia surrounding such coins adds an intangible layer of value, turning them into cherished keepsakes. For numismatists, this emotional connection, combined with historical and design factors, creates the perfect recipe for collectible appeal. Over the years, the 1997 2 pence has also gained attention due to rumors of ultra-rare variants. Some reports suggest that a limited number of coins were struck with different metal compositions as test pieces when the Royal Mint was experimenting with copper-plated steel in later years. While these test coins were never meant for circulation, a few are believed to have escaped the mint, sparking intrigue among collectors. If authenticated, such variants could be worth an astounding amount, easily tens of thousands, if not millions, depending on condition and rarity. Condition, of course, is everything in the world of coins. A 1997 2 pence in circulated condition may seem ordinary, valued only at face value. But a pristine, mint-state example with sharp details and no scratches can be a completely different story. The difference between a common coin and a $1 million rarity often lies in the tiniest imperfections, a nick here, a blemish there. Collectors often use professional grading services to determine the exact condition, or grade, of a coin. Graded coins are encapsulated in protective holders, ensuring they retain their value for generations to come. When it comes to investment potential, few coins of the late 20th century have shown as much appreciation as the Elizabeth II 2 pence from 1997. Top 3. Today, we dive deep into one of the most intriguing coins from the United Kingdom, the 2002 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. At first glance, it might look like just another ordinary coin you might find at the bottom of an old jar, but beneath its copper-plated surface lies a story that spans centuries of royal heritage, minting mastery, and collector fascination. By the end of this video, you'll discover why this particular 2002 2 pence coin has shocked the numismatic world, reaching an unbelievable value of $21 million. To understand the significance of the 2002 2 pence coin, we must journey back to the origins of the denomination itself. The 2 pence coin, often affectionately called tuppence, has deep roots in British coinage history. It was first introduced in 1971 during the Decimal Day Reforms, a monumental event that modernized Britain's currency system. The shift from pounds, shillings, and pence to a simple decimal system was revolutionary. It changed how everyday people used money and made room for coins like the 2 pence to enter circulation as part of the new decimal series. The design chosen for the 2 pence coin was not only symbolic but patriotic. It featured the badge of the Prince of Wales, a coronet above a plume of ostrich feathers, along with the motto, Ich dien, meaning, I serve. This emblem dates back to the 14th century and represents loyalty, service, and royal duty, values closely tied to the British monarchy. On the obverse, or front side of the coin, was the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, Britain's longest reigning monarch, whose portrait evolved across decades, reflecting her life and reign. By 2002, the United Kingdom was celebrating a significant year. It marked the Golden Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II, 50 years on the throne since her coronation in 1952. Across the Commonwealth, festivities, parades, and commemorative releases filled the year with national pride. The Royal Mint, the official producer of UK coins, was deeply involved in issuing special editions and maintaining the high quality of circulating coins. Among these was the humble yet historical 2002 2 pence coin, struck with remarkable precision and bearing details that make it one of the most fascinating coins of modern times. What makes the 2002 2 pence so special? On the surface, millions were minted, intended for everyday transactions, so one might assume it's common. But beneath this assumption lies a layer of rarity that only dedicated coin experts and collectors have come to appreciate. You see, not all 2002 2 pence coins were created equal. Some variations, particularly in minting errors and limited proof strikes, have turned a simple copper coin into a treasure worth millions. Each coin minted in 2002 carried the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, first introduced in 1998. This portrait is known for its realism and regal dignity, showing the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It's one of the most detailed and admired designs in modern coinage. The reverse continued to feature the familiar Prince of Wales feathers, a design by Christopher Ironside, whose work had become iconic by then. However, the brilliance of the 2002 issue lies in the combination of quality, symbolism, and historical timing, the Golden Jubilee year. Among the many 2002 2-pence coins produced, a small number were struck with exceptional finishes. Some proof versions were included in limited edition sets, while others showed rare die variations or slight misalignments, details that escape the naked eye but drive collectors into bidding wars. Experts from the Royal Mint Museum have confirmed that certain 2002 coins have slightly off-centered strikes, double die errors, or a deeper, richer copper tone due to differences in the plating process. These are the coins that have captured the attention of numismatists and investors alike. Imagine holding one of these coins, a piece of history, small enough to fit in your palm, yet powerful enough to represent the heritage of a nation and the reign of one of the most iconic monarchs in human history. Every scratch, every curve, every letter engraved on its surface tells a story of craftsmanship and legacy. Even the weight, precisely 7.12 grams, and its 25.9 millimeters diameter embody a standard of perfection that defines British minting. As the years passed, the 2002 2-pence coin became more than just spare change. Collectors started noticing subtle details that made it different. The metallic luster seemed deeper, the edges sharper, and in rare cases, the alignment of the Queen's effigy slightly tilted. Auction houses in London and New York began seeing rare 2-pence specimens fetching astonishing prices. What once cost merely 2 pennies was now being appraised at thousands, and in some extraordinary cases, millions of dollars, depending on rarity and condition. The fascination also lies in the symbolism of 2002 itself. That year wasn't just another point in the timeline of Elizabeth II's reign, it was a celebration of continuity, stability, and tradition in a world rapidly changing after the turn of the millennium. Owning a coin from the Golden Jubilee year became a way for collectors to hold a tangible memory of that historical milestone. And for a small fraction of those coins, the ones struck in mint condition, preserved flawlessly, or carrying minting errors, their value skyrocketed. Many collectors describe finding a 2002 2-pence coin as a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Some were discovered accidentally in old coin jars, in forgotten purses, or inside inherited collections. Others were purchased years ago as souvenirs, only for their owners to later realize they possessed a gem worth more than a luxury car or even a mansion. So next time you come across a 2-pence coin, take a closer look. What might seem ordinary at first could be something extraordinary. You might be holding a treasure that has crossed decades, carrying with it the pride of a nation and the mark of an era defined by one of the greatest monarchs in history. The 2002 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, simple, beautiful, and unimaginably rare, stands today as a true marvel of numismatic history, valued at an astonishing $21 million. This is ultra rare coins history, where every coin has a story, and every story reveals the hidden treasures of our world. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you love discovering the mysteries behind rare and valuable coins. Because here, we turn every penny into a piece of history.